It's insane. ¡Ah! 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 ¡No puede ser! ¡Esto no puede ser! ¡No puede ser! ¡No, no, 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 no! ¡No puede ser! ¡Hijo de puta!
아니 왜 맘대로 안 꺾어? 아이! 왜? Oh shit! Oh, he's alive!
This game is fucked! Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing an Elden Ring review from the perspective of a Souls virgin, as opposed to like a regular type of virgin who's the type of person who has played all of the Souls games. So this is my review of the Elden Ring game from the perspective of someone who has never touched a Souls game before. So I load up the game and I step foot into a dark fantasy world that I've never experienced before. That's a lie. I've actually read Berserk, so I've seen everything that Elden Ring has to offer. At this point, you know, I've seen every single weapon, armor choice, character type, enemy, world, story. Let's be honest, they're big fans of Kentaro Miura, and it shows a disrespectfully high amount, you know? And look, I'm not blaming them. It's a great choice. If you're gonna take ideas from anyone, it might as well be the best guy to ever do it. You know, if he's not gonna make a brilliant Berserk game, you might as well make it and then rebrand it to something else. That's gonna piss off so many people, and it's because they know I'm right. You know, people are gonna go, oh, it's an homage. It's a respectful, subtle nod. Let's be real, all right? This is someone taking somebody else's sandwich and being like, dude, I took the sandwich and ate it because I love your work. The sandwich looked good. I thought I should eat it. Before we get into it, grab tickets to my Melbourne shows. They're on sale now. They start in 2 weeks and I want to see you there. loosebeers.com. If you're outside Melbourne, check out this link, put your city in there. I'll message you and I'll see you at the shows. But that's probably the only real criticism I have of this game. That's a lie. I actually have several other criticisms, but they won't happen in this review. They'll happen while I play it. Criticisms like fuck and shit. And that's bullshit. And what? And I thought I killed him, and how does this weapon work, and why am I heavy rolling, and this sucks, and this is too hard, and this is impossible, and this is bullshit, and turning the console off and going for a big walk and coming back later and then enjoying it and then going through the same cycle. That's pretty much the game. The first half hour of Elden Ring, as a guy who's never played any of these games, is a pretty surreal experience because most tutorials hold your hand, it's lots of pop-up screens, and you get a little sidekick character that will tell you all of the buttons to press and why you should be doing things, and hold your hand and walk you through the story and tell you that you're a fucking badass and why you need to beat the bad guy. But the Elden Ring, like, intro to the story and tutorial is pretty much just this. Hey mate, welcome to the game. There's no real tutorial. Here's your shield and here's a sword. Good luck and go fuck yourself. Oh, yeah, and just before you go, you get no bitches. In fact, the tutorial is so inconspicuous that I almost skipped it. The only reason I didn't skip the tutorial is because someone actually left a helpful tip on the ground that told me to jump into a hole to begin the tutorial. Otherwise, I would have missed it, like several of my other friends have. And that brings me to my next observation, which is this is such a unique way of putting in like an element of multiplayer and online into what is, you know, inherently a single player role-playing experience. So straight away, my first impression of tips is like, oh, these are like all helpful, right? I should follow all of these because any unhelpful tips will get marked as unhelpful by the community and only the truly useful ones will get voted up as something that you should listen to. That was my first fuck up. The first tip told me to jump down a hole, and you know what I found there? A useful tutorial. The second tip I see tells me to jump off a cliff. You know what I found there? Death. Nothing but death 3 times in a row until I worked out that that was a fake fucking tip that had been voted up as useful by every other kid in this game. Oh, hey man, dude, someone else just wrote on the floor that there'd be a tutorial here. Is that true, or am I about to die again? The third tip that I see, which was also marked as incredibly useful by the other sociopaths who play this game, told me to kill the first fucking merchant that I see. And now, every time I return to that area, some guy dressed up as Santa Claus kills me 30 times in a row until I turn the console off and go for another fucking war. And now I just can't buy anything in the early game. I haven't found another merchant, so this is the only guy that I know exists, and I don't know how to make him less angry at me and stop killing me. And then if I do manage to kill him somehow, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna ever be able to bring him back, and because I'm stubborn and hate Googling tips because I feel like it spoils the experience of finding out, and Elden Ring won't hold my fucking hand and tell me how to do it, I guess I'm just fucked and I'm never gonna talk to that guy again. So that's why I just stopped reading tips entirely. I just stopped clicking on them. I saw the glowing things and I was like, you know what? I don't even want to hear it. Whatever you have to say, I don't want to know. That is until I got my shit rocked for over an hour by a guy who I assumed to be a boss because he was a giant with a big sword and he was so difficult to kill that I ended up just giving up, running past him and saying, well, fuck, I'll just come back to that boss later, only to find several of those mobs walking around the fucking planet like they're just some regular low-level NPC that they are. That guy killed me so many times in a row that I became absolutely desperate. I betrayed myself and decided to read a tip because I was so desperate, and the tip just told me to try and stick a finger in my own butthole. This game sucks. To make matters worse for a guy who's never played the game, the stats aren't explained. There's no quest log. The story is vague and confusing, seemingly on purpose. There's no order that you should be doing things, and they don't make it clear that you're allowed to skip stuff. So the first dude that I see is some cunt on a fucking horse that kills me 37 times in a row, and then I feel like a little girl for quitting and running past him, and then I look on Twitter and apparently that's what you're supposed to do, but they don't tell you that. Half the time I have no clue what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing. My hands hurt from gripping the controller way too hard. I'm stressed, I'm pulling my hair out, I don't know what to do, I'm yelling at the TV, I'm upsetting my dog, I keep going for walks, taking breaks, coming back, bashing my head against this wall, not making it through, going for another walk. I've never walked this far in my fucking life. And after hours and hours in the game and killing what I presume to be two bosses because of how difficult and large and how much music they had and how much of an impact they made when they entered on the screen, I checked my progress and I had made it through 0% of the fucking game. Elden Ring is bullshit. And that's why I love it. It is one of the most engaging, exciting, and thrilling games that I've ever played in my life. No quest log means that I can truly feel like I'm exploring in an organic way rather than just fulfilling side quests that just so happen to take me to every area, nook, and cranny of the map. There being no clear order of doing things means that every person's experience is completely different to the other one. So when you talk together, they tell you things that you haven't seen or you haven't heard about. You tell them things that they've never experienced. This is only with people who have been playing the game for a couple of hours like me. I can't imagine how much more this world opens up when you've put 20 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours into the game. If I get stuck on a boss or what I thought was a boss, no worries. I can just walk off in a different direction, go and fight some giant crabs for 40 minutes, level up, get better at the game, start to feel like I know what I'm doing, start to feel like maybe I'm getting good, and then out of nowhere, a fucking dragon will come and humble me, rock my shit, remind me that I'm not good and there's more where that came from. The story that seemed vague and hollow at the start now is starting to reveal itself as some incredibly intertwined, complex, and engaging narrative around this entire world that's been built to interact with itself and has a really deep story that I'm discovering more and more about every single time that I play it. Easter eggs are hidden everywhere and you feel a sense of achievement every time you discover something new because you had to fight your way to get there or solve a puzzle or find a trail based on a clue. It's an amazingly rewarding game despite how difficult it can get. Every enemy is unique and has their own attack patterns and they all broadcast what they're about to do. So if you ever get stuck on a particular enemy, all you need to do is pay attention to them and learn, and it's this real rewarding sense of, oh, I killed that guy, I've killed him 3 times now, I reckon if I see him later in the game, I'll know what to do. And this becomes incredibly interesting when you start fighting groups of enemies that are all from different subsets of enemies that you have learned how to counter, and then you have to learn how to counter them when they're fighting in groups. It seems that no matter what I'm up against, as long as I learn, pay attention, and try and get better, maybe change my moveset, level up and come back, I will always have a chance to beat them. Except for Margit. Fuck that guy and everyone he knows. I don't know what he's doing. I never know what he's about to do. I can't figure it out. I don't know if it's because I'm too underleveled or he's too fucking OP. I don't understand. How the fuck do I kill that? Is there a cheat code? I will use it. This game is so good that I don't want to be doing this video. I want to be playing it. I don't want you to be watching this video. I want you to go out and buy it and play it. I've never experienced a game like this. It's incredible. It's incredibly fun to play. It's incredibly frustrating. It just evokes so much emotion and just keeps me engaged the entire time that I play it. And I think it's an incredibly impressive achievement by From Software, especially when you take into account that this is their first open world game, I think. So yeah, I think you should just go out and play Elden Ring. It's awesome. I hope you enjoyed this review, and please actually give me tips in the comment section. I really do need them. Grab tickets to my comedy festival show here, loosebeers.com. I'm doing Melbourne. If you're not in Melbourne, check out this link instead. Put your city in there. I'll let you know when I'm coming to you. All right, like, comment, subscribe, and I might see you in 6 months after I beat Margaret.
Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merchant, no one gets hurt. Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merchant, no one gets hurt. Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merchant, no one gets hurt. Buy my shit, buy my shirts, buy my merchant, no one gets hurt.